So now this event would not have happened without all of you here joining us today, but we also have special thanks to our sponsors tonight. We have Virgo Wealth that you're going to hear more about. We have Blocken AI, right? We have Hotcoin. So we're going to have the names of the folks that's sponsored this event. I'm Ken. I'm with Off-Chain Global. We basically bring events together, right? We have over 70 chapters around the world. So this is one of those events we've had, and some of you may be going to Token 2049. But with that, I think we wanted to just have the slides up. Before we do that, I want to welcome the CEO of Virgo Wealth, right? Adam here to welcome you and kick off the event.
Okay. All right, hey everyone. So it's kind of strange for me as a Toronto folk to welcome you here because I just actually literally landed in the US 2 days ago. So first of all, very excited to be here. This is actually literally the first event for Virgo Group in US. So you guys actually literally witnessed the history for Virgo Group, even though you probably don't know what is Virgo Group, but I will tell you more about it. So I'm very excited to be here, and I'm seeing so much passion here, very similar to Canadian culture. Like we're seeing a lot of passionate blockchain folks in Canada too. But I think here, after Canada is, Stanford Blockchain Week, and here, I think it's a lot of passion. That's actually confirmed our whole intention to expand to US. And that's why we're here. So let me actually now tell you a bit more about what is Virgo, okay? So obviously, we originated from Canada. Just let me go back 2 slides first. Okay, so we're right now already a global, I would say, regulated crypto financial service provider. So we're headquartered is in Toronto, and we're actually security dealers in Canada, offering crypto trading platform because all the exchanges in Canada has to fall under security commissions. Unlike US, the SEC doesn't provide clarity, but in Canada, we have full clarity how to run exchange in Canada, which is under security commission. So we're actually security dealers in Canada. And we're also having our license in Australia too. So we have our Australian, operation started since 2022 October, and also we recently expanded to US and in the process of getting the Hong Kong license too. So our group main business is becoming actually a fiat gateway for the clients. So all we do about it is trying to bring the Web2 people over to Web3, so they can easily convert their USD, CAD, Australian dollar, the currencies, to cryptocurrencies, and we offer spot trading only at this point of time. So that's actually our roadmap. And our UK, obviously, we're also looking at the UK market too. So we're also pending the FCA approval on their, operations. So hopefully in the next 1 year or so, we can cover 5 regions. So this is our team. So we have a team of about 70 people globally, and the most part of the people actually are from Canada. And we have a satellite office in Australia and in Asia as well. Oh, I just go back to this computer now. And actually in US, because we just recently expanded to US, we're actually looking for talents in US. So who is actually looking for a job, in this market, who want to work for regulated financial service providers and trying to grow the career in blockchain. I think this is no better time because right now, everybody know it's bearish market. So people sometimes lose interest, think that the industry is going to stop. But the answer is no. We have went through 2 cycles already for the bullish market to bearish market and coming back again. We know every time when we work out of the bearish market, it's just going to be way better than the last cycle. So I think right now it's the best time to build a career in the blockchain industry in US. This is a huge market. It's 10 times as big as Canada. I'm so excited. So certainly we would need a lot more talents to join us. So if you guys are interested, definitely let us know. And we're definitely looking for our first batch of US employees pretty quickly. Okay. I think this thing is just auto-playing. Okay. So I'm just going to be quicker. So it kind of tell me, you have to do quicker. So that's a quick glance of a leadership team. I'm the co-founder and CEO, and we have a bunch of other people out of Toronto mainly. This is a bit our, roadmaps. So we got our dealer license last year, and we expand to Australia, and we got our OTC direct system. So the Virgo Wealth is our first business lines in US, which is provide OTC trading only. So we don't provide retail trading platform yet because the licensing is a lot of trouble. We still have to go through a lot of licensing in order to offer the retail trading platform. But OTC services we can right now provide in a few states. California is covered currently, and also such as Florida, Texas, New Jersey's. Like we cover about 10 states right now. Still working to get more states added up later on. And we finished our $10 million Series A last year, and obviously we're also offering the NFT market making services. Actually, if you guys using Blur and the OpenSea, you would see Virgo NFT. We're actually offering like the top 50 NFT market making services over there. And also we recently acquired an asset management company in Canada, fully licensed, trying to not only be able to do a retail trading platform OTC, but also the ability to provide private fund, like private wealth product, private fund, separate managed accounts for accredited investors to be able to give them the exposures to the crypto in a proper way. So I think that's also the latest thing. And the Virgo Wealth, like a few highlights, like we provide up to 5 to 6 currencies, and for people to do the fiat gateways. If you're looking for low slippage, great pricing, and you want to send a settlement, like our US arms currently already have the US local bank account, so you will get your money within the same day, no doubt. And you have personalized services. The pricing we can certainly compete. Bring us your Coinbase pricing, bring us your Kraken pricing, and most cases we can beat them, no problem. We obviously also have the VIP. So Jonathan is actually our head of wealth. So I do encourage you guys, if you have any needs for that, just chat with Jonathan and Francis. Where's Francis? Right here. So those are our 2 veteran colleagues here. So they will help you to make sure your demands are certainly satisfied. So that's the Virgo Wealth part, a quick overview. And so those are the currencies we can do. If you want to do Australian dollar, you can also come to us, Canadian dollar, USD, and Hong Kong dollar. And the OTC business has grown significantly compared to last year. It's already 500% growth, and we still think that it will go way higher. So for this year, because the OTC market is not really dependent on the market condition of the crypto, because a lot of OTC services certainly is based on a payment. So many people are using crypto as payment right now. So I think that is less dependent on the market condition, and we are actually servicing the payment rail very well. So that help us to get through the bearish market without seeing a significant drop on the trading volume. And certainly our target customer group will be high net worth individuals, mining firms, crypto hedge funds, and international trading companies who are looking for using crypto as a payment to get their international payments down. So that's that. And Virgo US is live literally since last month. Actually, it's very, very fresh. And currently we offer those states, there are a few more and not last year. But we have the local US bank sending settlement. The price is very competitive, and we can trade up to maybe 10 to 12 the top coins. If you're looking for some smaller ones, we can see how we can match that. And we're also licensed with FinCEN, and also we are actually working with more states to get MTL license needed. So we have just get that launched. So we're hoping that by next year when we're here, everybody will hear more footprints about Virgo. And we're already pretty big in Canada. We're the leading exchange in Canada. But obviously, we're now trying to get more presence. And you guys are the first group of audience. So appreciate your presence here today. So that's, so the NFT side is very briefly. So if anyone is interested in NFT, so we actually have been doing that for quite a few time. Quite some time now. So we have the automatic NFT market making. So this is actually not something we have to market, but just let you guys know what we do, because we're actually the major market makers on OpenSea and Blur. So for the major NFT collections based on their statistical models. So all we do is we actually determine a fair pricing for the NFT and provide some bid to the NFTs. And obviously there will be a bit lower than floor price, but if people want to get rid of the NFT, they can do that in a very frictionless way just to sell to us. And we actually use that directly on the major platforms. So whichever, like if there's a new platform coming out, we also be their market makers. So this is actually real B2B. It's not too much of B2C, but that's something we do as well. Okay, so that's the asset management. So currently we're actually not allowed to solicit US investors yet because we don't have the US license for that. But we have the full license in Canada, and we're also looking to work with the US legal counsel to ensure that we can get our first US fund launched sometime soon. So the idea here is really trying to provide people the necessary investment products they need because to navigate through the crypto market sometimes can be very, very challenging. And you have to get through a lot of different, type of investment scams and also manage your risks. Don't over leverage yourself, don't get yourself blown up by the liquidation, a lot of things. So I think professional management actually needed in the space. And there are, in Canada, our security commission has already approved ETF, but there's not enough personalized private fund, which is seeking for the crypto alpha. And there's a lot of beta products in the market, but we're trying to provide alpha products. And we're hoping that, very soon we can get to US, but now obviously we're still in the preparation stage. So that's, we acquired Economic Investment, now become a Virgo digital asset. So now we're actually fully vertically integrated financial service, a crypto financial service company, which has the retail trading platform, OTC trading, and also the asset management. And we're hoping to add more, locations to our services very soon. Okay. So yeah, so that's just a little strategy. I'm not going to do details. Yeah, so that's our team, our yard, to celebrate our Virgo month. I'm actually not sure who actually Virgo, like from horoscope. Is there anyone who is Virgo? Only one? Okay, you have the Virgo. Do you have more gift for the Virgo? Okay, so we will come talk to our staff. We'll make sure Virgo gets treated well. But it's just funny that. Yeah, so if you guys want to talk more, feel free to join us. But the most important thing, enjoy yourself tonight. Have more drinks, have more fun. If you want to dance, you should dance. All right, thank you so much.
Thank you, Adam. Thank you, Virgo team. Again, event wouldn't happen with Virgo. And also we have additional sponsors that we want to thank, right? We have OKX Ventures. We have OKX team here. All right, I think they're probably up right there. There she is, Paige in the back. She's going to be speaking, right? We also have VDAO. And Metabit and PingCap. Where's Matthew? He's also going to be on the panel. PingCap team, come on, raise your hand. Woo, already in the back right there. All right, so with that, we have some more presentations. And I know just when people get hungry, we're going to have pizza at the end of the panel discussion and additional food. So again, thank you, Edge and Node, for providing the food and the drinks. All right, and so with that, I'm going to ask Blocken.ai to come in and do a presentation.
Hello everyone, this is Bonnie and I'm from Hong Kong, and this is for me as Block AI dear founder as a presentation, okay? And I have one question about that in here. Have anyone used a Web3 wallet? Can give me the hand. Okay, nice. And this is our, thanks so much, okay. Okay, now this is our vision and position. And now we provide a visual silent with user-friendly on-chain data analysis profile. Actually, it's the two, we are tracking and manage your two assets. And the later on is this our product status. And we need the DeFi and API token NFT like the circle around your address. And now we are already covered more than 20 EVM chains and 1,700 main DeFi protocols. Sorry. And now we're providing real-time APIs. It's real-time. We also have the 1,500 machine based in Hong Kong. And now it's our product planning. And now we are prepare expand to more chains, especially non-EVM chains. Now we are connect Sui wallet and OKX wallet now. And now our address and transaction labeling from our own KYT product and more comprehensive on-chain data API interface, providing customers data service for intertransmission silent. This is to your left can see the normal to ETL, and it's more technical. I will, if you later on you want more question, can DM me and introduce our CTO. And then it's a similar project is as the bank, and then it's a tree house. Now we are the newer, but from the last year now we have the no funding now. That is our you have the real time your analysis. And this is sorry. This is our long-term value. And actually, you can see more data side, model lab, and scoring. And it's like the circle because we are compromises for our talent. Then you have some problem, also give me feedback. We will always can change. And this is a go-to-market strategy as a data analysis, product and service. And it's like the same and other side as from the web app and API feedback again. Now we have the achievement. It's a more 30% financial coverage and more 10 million target individuals. Now is one of the earliest institutions to adapt to the blockchain. This is our team, and Simon is before he is based in Web3 industry in Shanghai, and now we started in Hong Kong now, and this is our team competition. And now here is our roadmap, and from the 2022, as we just have the one chain, and now as the QE to the Q4, we have more than 30 chains, including now 5 non-EVM chains. Thanks so much, and Bonnie. And if have some problem, can contact me.
Thank you, Bonnie. All right, so we're going to save a lot of questions at the end for networking. So I know Virgo Group is going to be very popular. Blocking.ai. Next with us is Bernie from VDAO.
Got it. Right, because VDAO guys couldn't make it, I will just speak on their behalf. We invest in Kubernetes project earlier. I won't take you guys too long. Just a quick walkthrough. All right, here it is like a Web3 investment guide, but focusing on like pre-seed and seed around early, early founders. Because if you track through this, like current problem is that founders flying around the world and they cannot find a age to pivot to like pitch to the investors. It's like very costly and not efficient. So this is like AI-driven intelligent investment advisor. So we find the pinpoints like a difficulty tracking fast changing trends and leading to missed opportunities. Something like industry projects, chaotic and quality ones, hard to distinguish. That's why like with VDAO access expert view reviews and real-time smart money tracing to seize every alpha opportunity. And we already have like more than 5,500 projects listing and more than 22K Twitter KOLs onboarded, and we have more than 200 VCs onboarded, and we have a 17+ mainnet ecosystem. This is just how it looks like. So we have like whole information. It's like a projects aggregator or marketplace that like Nova, Shima, all those ventures already onboarded. They're gonna evaluate projects in the scoring dimensions and all that. So those are some of the experts' comments. We have the community voting. So find the alpha. I'll just have a quick walkthrough here. So it's driven by the AI technology. So essentially, it's going to give you this AI chat box. So if you're new to crypto, if you ask questions like, give me some trending projects, and it's just going to give you like 4 or 5 options. And if you ask, I have 10K to invest, I want a 10% yearly return, let's give you 4 or 5 options as well. So that's the integration of the big data and AI. So essentially, smart interactive methods. This is whole business ecosystem. So essentially, it's a B2B2C. And compare with other competitors, solvers. This is some application of the DAO. roadmap. All right, that's it. Thanks.
I know, sorry, we had to rush this because I know everyone's waiting for the panel. So last up is PingCap. We have Matt, and here we go. We got this clicker. All right, PingCap.
Yes. Hello, everyone. My name is Matthew Penarosa, and today I want to talk to you all a little bit about data. Data in the age of Web3 is ever growing. Blockchain transactions are stored forever. And you, as engineers, as CTOs, CEOs, business people, you need to make sure you're prepared for this inevitable eventuality. I want all the engineers, the CEOs, and CTOs in the audience to ask themselves, are you prepared for a 10x increase in growth? And if that sounds unrealistic, I just want to point you to the past to bull cycles, because there are a lot of companies that experienced a lot more than 10x growth, and you guys need to make sure that you are prepared for that. And this is where, oh, actually, I don't have my slide up. A second. All right, this is where TidyB comes in. TidyB is the most advanced open source distributed SQL database in the world. And it is built from the ground up to handle massive scale data with resiliency, availability, and security. And there's an easy reason why I can say we're the most advanced open source distributed MySQL database in the world, and that's because we're the only one. So, so what is TidyB built for? Oh, okay, sorry, it's a little slow. We are built for horizontal scalability. If you add a new blockchain onto your data platform, we can easily scale out. If you have a 10x increase in volume, a 10x increase in concurrency, no problem. Just run a command line and you can scale out your cluster. High availability. If a node goes down on your database, no problem. Our database will automatically switch over to an up node. We also support mixed workloads. In the age of Web3, I don't want to just upload my data to a database and do nothing with it, right? It's already on chain. I want to get insights out of that data. I want to know what day Ethereum had the most volume last month. And we are also strongly consistent. You will only get up-to-date information with TidyB. We're also totally drop-in MySQL compatible. If you've ever used MySQL, you know how to use TidyB. And we're multi-cloud. We support AWS, GCP, Azure, on-prem, wherever you're at, we'll meet you there. And we're totally open source. You can go check out our source code right now on GitHub. And we are also the most popular open source database on GitHub. And when I'm at these things and people present their product to me, and I'm always instantly skeptical. They say you can do all these things. So that's actually real quick. I just want to run through a few of our customers just to show you what we can do. So NFT Scan uses TidyB, and they get 10 milliseconds on over 10,000 queries per second with TidyB. DBank uses TidyB, and they have over 210 terabytes of data from over 60 blockchains with a growth rate of 10 terabytes per month. And they use TidyB. And we enable them to support a concurrency of 30,000 writes and 6,000 reads per second. And a crypto exchange. One of the top 3 in the world, which if you've been in crypto for a long time, you've definitely used this exchange. I'll give you a hint. It starts with one of the name of it starts with one of the first 3 letters of the alphabet. And they start all their crypto account balances and trading transaction history on TidyB. Mission critical workloads, all stored on TidyB. And we are also trusted across many different leaders in many different fields. We have our customers are Huobi, Square, Certec, DBank, NFT Scan, Capcom, Airbnb, Pinterest, and many more. And all of this is supported by a company of over 650 employees with backing from several tier 1 VCs. And Don't take my word for it. You know, if you're interested in databases, I want you to go to our playground at play.tidybcloud and check it out. And with that, I'd like to thank everyone for their time. All right.
Thank you. Thank you, Matthew and the Pink Cap team. So now I'm going to invite up our moderator, Sonia, and founder and CEO of Orbis 86, to welcome our panelists to come up to the stage. I'll hand it to you.
Thank you, Ken. Do you want to? Yeah. All right, that's Ken and me. Well, we could move on to our panelists. So I would love to invite on stage Paige Xu from OKX Ventures. Can we have Bernie? Bernie, can you join us on behalf of Vida? We don't have Edwin here today, so our guest here is Bernie. Yeah. And JC, we'd love to invite you on stage. JC here is an investment manager with MT Capital. All right, so today we're going to talk about Ethereum evolution as well as the Web3 investment landscape. So quick audience trivia. What is the next Ethereum upgrade? Research, okay. Names like Ethereum Shanghai. What's the next one called? Okay, it's Cancun. So that's good. That's good because we are going to chat a little bit about the Ethereum upgrades and what's happening. At least you will be able to walk away with some new knowledge. And with that being said, we're not going to get too overly technical for sure. But what we're going to do is cover both. What does Ethereum upgrade mean for the overall crypto ecosystem at large, as well as chat about the investment landscape that we're looking at. So what I'm going to do is we are going to quickly go through our panelists, and I'm going to ask you to introduce yourselves to our audience, to our beautiful, lovely audience here. Paige, I'd love to start with you.
Hi, everyone. My name is Paige. I'm an investor from OKX Ventures. I base out of San Francisco usually, but I go to Asia all the time just for conferences and meetups. And happy to chat more about our investment strategies and portfolios afterwards.
Thank you, Paige. Paige actually is she's a fabulous person, and you'll see that on the panel as she shares her insights. Okay, I'd love to go to Bernie. Bernie, would you do the pleasure of introducing yourself?
Yeah, sure. I actually worked at OKX for 3 years. But like the first day, I think Paige went to OKX. I met her in one of those events, and we've been talking that we probably can share some deal flow, in the near future. And also met JC in one of those events as well. Vida is just one of our portfolio companies here because they can make it. And we invest in incubate early stage projects. That's it.
All right, thank you, Bernie. I'm going to go to JC. Hey, JC.
Thank you, Sonia. Hello, everyone. My name is JC. I'm an investment associate at MT Capital. It is a native crypto fund based in Palo Alto. We also have offices in Hong Kong, Singapore, as well as New York. So we're mainly looking into ZK-related products, Ethereum-based layer 2 infras and protocols, as well as innovations in the Bitcoin ecosystem. And also, we are going to look into more regional opportunities, such as opportunities in Latin America. So we are going to open our office very soon next year in South America. So if anybody's like South American viewers, hit me up and send me a DM. Thank you.
Thank you, Jesse. And by the way, congrats on your recent 10 million raise that you have done for your upcoming investments. So
Thank
guys,
you.
They did do a 10 million raise. So if you are looking for investments, you know whom to contact. We have 2 investment managers right here. Okay, so let's dive right into the panel. Paige, my first question is for you. So OKX does a lot of investments in the SUI ecosystem as well as the Ethereum ecosystem. In fact, you have an investment in Gitcoin as well, and we'll chat about Gitcoin shortly. But just before we get to that, I want to ask you that how do you foresee the development of different layer 1s and layer 2s?
That's a great question. Let me just get some temperature check of the audience. Because just now when Sonia asked about the Ethereum upgrade, I feel like people are probably not really familiar with this term. So just curious, is everyone here know about Sui? Okay, Gitcoin. Okay, awesome. Okay, that makes my answer so much easier. So we are a proud investor of Gitcoin, and we don't call ourselves investor because I think of ourselves more like an ecosystem partner of Gitcoin. We participated in their treasury diversification round last November. And since then, we've been active DAO contributor of the community. And then the past month, we were selected as the steward council for Gitcoin due to our contribution the past 6 months, I would say. So Gitcoin, for people who don't know, it's the biggest Ethereum developer community. And then I think there's something going on. So right now, it's also, I guess, the biggest public goods funding platform. So people go there to support the early stage projects they're interested in. And then just a few months ago, Gitcoin shifted from donating on Ethereum to layer 2. So they're using OP Stack right now for their own native rollup. And so in the past, the gas fee for donation is probably when you donate $10, you need to pay like $5. So people complain a lot. So after that change on OP right now, the gas fee is negligible. So I think that also ties back to the thing of today that what does this whole upgrade mean? I think it's really exciting that we are seeing a lot of layer 2s, especially OP Stack. They're gaining a lot of tractions. They're actually making life so much better, just for the use cases, as I mentioned just now. And then back to your question, sorry, about Sui. So we invested in Cetus. We didn't invest in Sui. The val was a bit too high. But Cetus was, I guess, one of their most flagship DeFi protocols. And just one of the examples, because I would say we're pretty blockchain agnostic. So we invest across different ecosystems. But at the core, I would say we're pretty I guess bullish still on the Ethereum ecosystem. So if you're asking me about, what's the future for layer 1 and 2s, and also with the topic today, I think we are still bullish on Ethereum, especially with the increasing scalability, security, and also increasing, the whole idea, super cool DA layer, the blob thing from this upgrade. But at the same time, like other layer 1s, I think they're trying to have different market positioning. And Sui, they're really strong in terms of mobile gaming, and they have a really strong Asia team. The Sui Foundation people are in Hong Kong, Singapore, and they're working with a lot of like super cool Web2, like Tencent, those company people, and then trying to develop some really viral spread mobile games. So, Sui definitely is a great ecosystem for sure.
Thank you, Paige. Well, I would like to ask, how many people in the room understand the difference between layer 1s and layer 2s? Okay, quite a few. For the benefit of the 50% of the people in the room, is there anyone on the panel who wants to give like a quick explanation? JC, perhaps, do you want to do that? What's the difference between a layer 1 and a layer 2?
That's let me see if I can use the highway to kind of like give people who don't know about the concept a little bit like idea like what layer 2 and layer 1 is. So basically, if there's only one road and all the traffic will be super jam, like because all the cars are going to be on the same street or same road. But because of to avoid traffic jam, we need to have another infrastructure on the top of layer 1 so that you can divert some of the traffic to another street so that it will not be so crowded. So that's layer 2. I think that will be a good example how layer 2 can help help the Ethereum system to become more efficient and more accessible to everyone.
I think that was actually a great analogy. I haven't heard anyone use that, but I feel like it makes sense. And at some point, you need the traffic to merge onto the freeway again. So that's where we have the roll-ups happening, as well as then the new update on Ethereum is actually around that. So as a continuation to that question, JC, what I would love to ask you is, you have, especially your personal experience, right? You have helped Binance incubated projects. So with the new upgrade that's coming up with Ethereum, especially the upgrade focusing a lot on bringing more functionality and scalability to layer twos.
Yes.
How do you think that might impact any of the new and upcoming projects that are being built? And will that also impact the investment decisions you are making?
That's such a great question. So I'll give a little bit background information here. So before I joined MT, I was on the builder side. I was actually responsible for the growth hacking at a Binance incubated project. It was a music NFT project, and also it was launched on the Ethereum mainnet. At that time, there are a lot of issues we need to consider, especially like during the during the bear market. How can we incentivize people to kind of be more active, proactive in engaging in everyday, activities? Another question we face will be just how to actually get people to mint a product. So the looking back, the problem we faced were pretty real, I would say. First of all, because we would like to incorporate ENS into our product, so we have to launch it on the Ethereum ecosystem, because there weren't any rollups for us to available rollup for us to use at that time. So we need to launch on the mainnet. The gas fee was pretty high, so it would just count for the 1/3 of the total transaction. For a non-financial use case, this is pretty expensive. So that's why I'm so excited about this Cancun upgrade, just because the rollup booster will help those non-financial oriented use cases to become more way more cheaper and more accessible, because it basically cut the gas fee to the, let's say, the minimum, right? So that's why I'm so excited to see there will be, I think there will be more non-financial related use cases to be deployed on layer 2. And I think it will be great for the next billion users. So I think that's also something we as investor will look into.
I think that's a great explanation. So a lot of you who have been in the field for at least a couple of years, you've probably seen how both the Ethereum as well as the Bitcoin network suffered from higher gas fees when something like NFTs penetrated, right? So on Bitcoin, we had ordinals, and ordinals led to the Bitcoin network getting jammed. And similarly with Ethereum, when NFTs were launched, the gas fees were ridiculously high. At one point when Yuga Labs dropped their other deeds, people paid even up to $5,000 in gas fees. And some of them, now this is just in gas fees, right? So it's not even the price that you're paying for the product, just for the gas fees. And some of those gas fees were actually lost because the transaction did not go through, and yet they had to pay those gas fees. Now, Yuga Labs as a company refunded them, but imagine this just happening to an average John and Jane. It definitely makes onboarding very hard, because in so many parts of the world, $5,000 is like what a person might make over 5 years or 10 years of time, right? So now with layer 2s, we are looking at optimizing the process, making things faster, but also cheaper. So again, trivia question for the audience. Name one layer 2 that is a roll up. Anyone in the audience? Hint. Paige said that. I heard someone talk about it. Did somebody say optimism here? Yeah, somebody in the background, but that was way too low, but I heard you. Yep, so optimism, and Paige was just referring to Gitcoin using optimism. So the OP that she was referring to is optimism, and then there is another one, which is Arbitrum. Of course, you also have side chains like Polygon, but now with the new upgrade, we are looking at more such layer 2s probably being formed, and each serving some good use cases. Okay, so we'll continue the conversation. Bernie, I would like to ask you that VDAO actually uses AI to create investment advisors personas, right? And then VDAO is actually powered by a DAO. So now with the upcoming Ethereum upgrades, do you think that would influence the decentralized investment platforms like VDAO? And would that in any way also influence the decision-making process?
Yeah, I guess not only just the Ethereum upgrade, there are so many other layer ones, like also ZK. We're also looking into other infras as well. As a like AI powered like investment tooling, it's just basically the whole AI chat box based on the whole Web3 data box. I mean, the whole database are from all those like data providers, Nansen, Dew, Footprint, you name it. And we collaborate with so many like data providers. That's why we have like massive data. Whereas if you prompt some of the questions you want to ask, some of the trending projects, some of the alpha opportunities out of those tons of projects, it's kind of like good filter, and it's kind of like a good way to distinguish those good ones, and especially get rid of those scams and rug pulls. That's how VDAO can help from beginners to the experts to save their time, and also like find out those good opportunity to invest.
All right, thank you. Thanks, Bernie. Okay, so we are going to continue the questions. And Paige, you did talk a little bit about Gitcoin, but what I would like to also follow up through is with how is OKX supporting Gitcoin and indirectly supporting the larger Web3 ecosystem? Because Gitcoin is very well known as a grants platform. So it allows people to actually crowdsource, right? It's like sort of a republic, you could say, or a V funder for the Web3 projects. And OKX is supporting Gitcoin. So directly, indirectly, how does that result in a more vibrant, thriving Web3 ecosystem being built, especially for the new founders in the crypto ecosystem?
That's a really tough question. I will try to tackle this. I guess a few caveats. So Gitcoin, it's people know Gitcoin as an Ethereum native platform, but they're also trying to, I guess, go cross chain, quote unquote. So for example, we introduced them to Sui because Sui wants to also onboard a lot of developers. And then I think one of the greatest strengths of Gitcoin is to connect developers with the early projects. So I think that's one thing we're able to do, to just make it less ETH but more cross-chain per se. And the other thing is that I think we're bringing some really diverse perspective to Gitcoin. Like Gitcoin was originally founded by Owaki and also Scott Moore, just people who are super OG, founder or like the core contributor to OP, and racially or in terms of the gender, it's a pretty, I would say it's a really similar group of people we're talking about here, but we are trying to bring more, voices that's more diverse, from APAC. We're actually bringing Shelling Point, which is their pretty big conference every time doing ETH Global or ETH Denver, to Asia for the first time in 10 days. It's a really long battle, I would say, to negotiate with the community, saying that, hey, you can trust us actually to embody the spirit of Gitcoin, and also to advocate for public goods funding, also open source technology in a place that we might not have like a Gitcoin representative. I can let you guys share the link later. It's actually doing token 2049, also doing ETH Singapore. So far, we haven't even really publicized it, and then we have like 400 plus people registered for this one-day event, showing that actually, in non-Western part of the world, that people are also interested in Gitcoin, also public goods funding. And then we are just trying to bridge the gap and, put our resources in Hong Kong, in Singapore, in supporting this ecosystem. And also, I guess another thing we are working with Gitcoin or the Ethereum ecosystem per se is we are also joining Ethereum Climate Platform. It's like a joint initiative between Consensus, All Infra, and Gitcoin, UNDP. Basically, the goal is to offset all the carbon emissions from the Ethereum blockchain before the merge. So I guess 2013 to 2021, and then this initiative was super cool because it's like a fund, and people use the money in the fund to invest in a lot of Web3 native carbon credits projects. And people know about Toucan or Moss Earth, that kind of things. So we are actively supporting those, play our parts, and helping them getting more noises out there. Hope that answers the question.
It does, it does. And that you did a great job of not just explaining Gitcoin's mission, but also explaining um, how Gitcoin, again, is supporting the larger Web3 ecosystem by going cross-chain. I definitely do believe that interoperability cross-chain is the future of Web3 and is required for bringing on board the masses that we are talking about. So it's really great to see ETH native applications, right, branching out onto the other chains and just creating a more collaborative ecosystem. Hey, JC, I have a question for you.
Yes.
So what I want to ask you is, you have a fund that you guys are actively deploying.
Mhm.
So what trends and opportunities in the Web3 ecosystem are you currently excited about and looking forward to invest in?
That's a great question. So, as I said before, the Cancun upgrade not only will incentivize more builders to build non-financial use cases, we also realize that the typical financial use case will get 10 times more during next bull market, because the cheaper gas fee, more accessible layer 2, and it's just more accessible infrastructure in general will just boost the transaction volume. So we pay a lot of attention to individual investors' tools, not only just the analytical tools for the investment, also as the execution tools. So two parts: the analytical tools, right? Like we already have a lot of good products on the market, such as Stune, DBank, let's say. So so we now pay a lot more attention to the execution tools. What is execution tools? I will just give one example. For example, recently the bots, the Telegram and Discord bots, get very popular because it helps people to execute very fast, and it's like although it's not that decentralized, but like people love the products because of their user experience.
Do you want to share an example with the audience so they know what you're talking about? You're talking about a Telegram trading bot.
Yes,
right?
Unibot. Anybody know about Unibot? Just raise your hand. Okay.
Yeah.
I always saw one.
Definitely a quick intro to Unibots would be great.
Unibot is basically a Telegram bot for everyday traders to kind of like execute the transaction. It can help the investor to come up with investment strategy, as well as do the execution in a much easier way. It can also automate the entire execution process, so that it can help people to make investment.
So I'll quickly interject here. Essentially, people who have been in the space, that most of the traders are chatting on Telegram group chats or on Discord chats. So the thing is that so far, what would happen is people would share the news, and then everybody had to go and figure out that, hey, how do we act quickly on this news? How do we leverage some of these arbitrage opportunities that are provided to us? So what's been done is now we have some Telegram bots created, like Unibot, as we referred here, where within the group chat itself, people can connect their wallet to the Unibot. Right now, it's not the safest thing because you have to share your private key. But by safely mitigating your risk, what you can do is, as soon as the action is happening, you can trade from within Telegram itself. And then, as JC said, that can also be automated. So definitely, a lot of good innovation happening, especially because when it comes to trading, right? And again, in cryptocurrency, it's just like day trading, where you can quickly execute multiple transactions and make a few $1,000s a day as well. So speed of execution and doing those things quickly makes a lot of difference. So
Yes.
Onwards to the question, but I hope the audience got a little perspective about what JC was referring to.
You gave a much better explanation. So other than let's say product like Unibot, we also look into the intent-based products. So for people anyone know about intent-centric product here? Raise your hand. Okay, let me explain a little bit. So it's recently brought up by Paradigm, right? So what is intent-centric products? It's so for everyday Web2 users, the Web3 products are still too hard to use because the barriers to entry is pretty high. You need to know your private key. You need to make less mistakes during transaction. You need to be careful about phishing and all the different kind of scams. So that's everything that prevent people from getting into the Web3, right? So the intent-centric product designs basically means that it will make the products more like a Web2 product. So it's easy to use. So the user doesn't need to know about the mechanism happened behind, or like what happened actually on the chain. For them, it just be they will just use that like a Web2 product. They would just click, and then boom, the transactions being made. So yes, we will pay a lot of attention to the intent-centric products, and we are very excited in what will happen in this sphere.
Thank you, JC. So yes, everybody's looking for innovation in the space, right? And one of the challenges so far in terms of really getting those billion people onto Web3 has been the adoption challenges, right? Just getting someone's foot inside the door is challenging. And then once you get people in there, it sounds fancy to say that, hey, you are your own bank. But the moment people realize that being their own bank also means that they cannot mess to F it up, it becomes serious, right? Because now you don't have anyone insuring your bank account. You are the bank, right? So these products, these innovative products to help people better manage their banks or better manage their transactions are definitely going to have a great future. Since we are on the topic of faster, cheaper transactions, I have a question for you, Bernie, right? Now, WeDAO is essentially an AI trading platform in a way. So what I am curious to know is, now with all of these roll-ups happening, will WeDAO's AI also figure out and incorporate a comprehensive trading strategy where you're not just looking at data from Ethereum, but you're also then comparing that, hey, this asset, when that's being traded on maybe Arbitrum or Optimism, could actually get you better rates because the gas fees could be cheaper, or if there's your market making, you are actually trading between spreads and there is a huge volume. So now you're trying to look at these arbitrage opportunities or better trading opportunities, not just on one chain, but also the different roll-ups that are there. And as an extension to that, if you see a better strategy, will WeDAO's AI bots also, or WeDAO's AI also help move assets between Ethereum and the layer 2s and vice versa?
Yeah, I think it's all about multi-chains right now. It's not just about EVMs. We're talking about DK. We're talking about VDAO right now have more than 14 chains ready for all the data. So that's a good coverage, and in a speed of probably 6 to 8 chains per month increase. And so like not only just all the secondary market, because VDAO has been focusing on primarily all the like pre-seed and seed round, very early stage projects. And in terms of just leverage all the experience and resources out of the ventures and the exchanges, so that retail users can have those access without doing like tons of research and without wasting their time on Medium, Mirror, Telegram, Discord, you name it, and just those kind of like too overwhelming for the information gathering. And that's how like AI bots like chipping here. And essentially, it's not like just to be AI for AI. It's not a like, AI hype product, because back to October last year when the project started, and we talked to the founders, and they said they want to build this AI empowered products. So that's why we put money on it, and we think along the way, we're very, very excited about our next beta version coming out, and so it's going to be more powerful with all the database. So all the money transfer, all the smart money tracing, monitoring, alerts, all those factors will be counting in next version.
Thank you. So I'm going to ask you all the last questions now, and after that we'll have a quick Q&A with the audience. So, Paige, we can keep the answers short, and then you can have your closing remarks also following that. So, I have a question for you. Do you think there's going to be a bull run or a summer for layer twos coming up?
Definitely. Well, for people who are not familiar with like summer, like the word summer, like layer 2 summer, let's look back on the history of like what we call summer in the crypto, right? So there's like DeFi summer back in 2020. So that's when people start to like do yield farming and stuff like that. And then for all the coins they invested in, it's like 10x or 30x. And then there's also like GameFi summer. So that's when people start to use play to earn, when people start to have step in. So my definition of summer is when you have both user adoption, this kind of like huge popularity, but at the same time, whatever coins you bet on, you'll get you a lot of returns. So back to your question on L2 summer, I think it's gonna be L2 summer and also a bull run. It's not just gonna be L2, it's also gonna be on ramp, off ramp summer. Virgo is our portfolio. I think yeah, no, I think seriously, it's the time of the market. But L2 per se, I heard of this really interesting analogy. Is basically talking about for I'm not sure how many of you guys have done like Galaxy Quest before. So basically, you participated in some tasks, right? In terms of interacting with this like blockchain projects, and then you'll be qualified for some airdrops, like free tokens from different blockchains. And a lot of layer twos right now, like OP, Arbitrum, ZK Sync, what have you, they're actually gaining a lot of profits from you participating in these tasks. And people call it reverse farming, because in a sense you are actually farming these blockchains to get yourself free tokens, but because of the gas fee and also the high participation from the participants, this layer 2 is actually gaining profits from the participants. So that's something that we've never seen before. But I think this also shows that this whole layer 2 craze is going to be going on. And then with the Cancun upgrade, this layer 2 said they're going to have even lower costs, because for them their cost is whatever gas fee they pay back to Ethereum, right? And their revenue is the gas fee that you guys pay to them. So basically they're going to lower the cost, but the revenue is just going to either stay the same or increase. So I think layer 2s are going to flourish really quick. And with the lower gas fee overall, there's going to be more adoption. Like Tracy mentioned, there are going to be a lot of non-financial use cases, donation, or just games, what have you. It doesn't have to be trading per se. So yeah, I guess short answer, yes.
Thanks, Paige. And I'm just going to follow up that same question, go to JC,
Yes.
and ask you, well, Paige introduced us to summers, right, and the era of summers. But yes, the cryptocurrency market in general is a cyclical market.
Mhm.
And as a fund investing in this market,
Yes.
whose cycles are actually much shorter than the typical stock market,
Mhm.
how are you preparing for the potential disruption that upgrades like Cancun can bring, or we see like a new use case like NFTs suddenly come out of nowhere and then spike, and you have those interest spikes. So how will you prepare for both the peaks as well as the downturns of crypto as an investment firm?
That's a great question. So we are now in the downturn, right? But I think the future is very promising. As we said, that the Cancun upgrade will happen very soon, and in the expected future, the layer 2 summer will come, as Paige just said. So we are preparing, and we are trying to invest more on the layer 2 infras that will be boost during the summer. So that when the bull market actually comes, then we can, enjoy our products.
So if there are builders in the room, just keep that in mind. If you're building an L2, or if you're building something on top of L2, there is a lot of excitement around it. These are the conversations that you have to be a part of, especially if you're trying to figure out that, hey, what are the trends, right? So right now, L2s, yes, they are the upcoming trends that we're looking at. Okay, and finally, for Bernie, my question, especially with VDAO, is with all of these upcoming changes that we're seeing, not just with Ethereum rolling out dank sharding or proto sharding that is going to further reduce the costs of roll-ups, but also with newer ecosystems like Sui, Say, all of these ecosystems making transactions cheaper, faster. Do you think this would provide an amazing on-ramp opportunities for traders to get into crypto, right? Even the traditional traders, or even just like Robinhood disrupted the stock trading market and made stock trading, it democratized access and onboarded millions of people onto it. Do you think that VDAO could potentially be a platform that does that?
Well, would love to have to see that. It's just I think it's still a long way to go. So if you compared with Webster to AI, AI developed since like 1960s, and pretty much
30s.
crypto and blockchain just for recent 10 years. And I think like if you ask people, like they don't go like I have to have a crypto wallet to have a decent life. But if you ask all those people here, if they ever use large language models, they're probably gonna say yes. So we're thinking all those transaction fees, all those features added to the layer ones, layer twos, the day case. Actually, I just talk about like AA with two experts as the other day at the Stanford conference, and we're seeing all those, the cutting edge technology could really affect how people see it and how people use it. And also, you mentioned Robinhood. I mean, not only Robinhood. If you see the PayPal just issued the stable coins, and we're also talking about other Web2 companies adapt to the blockchain technology or crypto as their core. One of their core functions. So we definitely want to see more like happening in the near future. And with that happen, VDAO would definitely want to miss this trend, and would definitely do more research and digging deep to catch on this whole Web3 journey.
Thank you. So we now have we are now going to open the floor to audience questions. We have time for a couple of questions. Anybody has a question for our panelists here? If there are no questions, then we have done like an amazingly fabulous job because nobody has any questions. Anyone wants to ask any questions to the investors on the panels that, hey, I'm building this. Will you invest in me? No, this is not a pitch session. We are joking. Okay, we have a question up here.
I've seen a lot of the sentiment over the last 9 months or so echo a view of survive till 25 type of mind frame. But in terms of venture funds being active, what are you mostly looking for currently within, like, say, like an early stage seed type company? One that such as I belong to, that's very lean and profitable, but moving slowly.
So, who wants to take that question? The question basically is, at the moment, what are you looking for in early stage and seed stage founders? Because right now, these, of course, early stage means there isn't already an expectation of profitability. So, what exactly are you looking for as funds that are actively deploying in this space? Who wants to take the question?
Okay, I was gonna go first. I think we'd love to see that founders have good vision and have their fast acquisition, and sometimes can admit that they make mistakes. So one of our portfolios in the past actually commit that they made some mistakes before we make investment. I think that took like very very big gut to confront to us that they didn't deliver the results they promised. So I definitely think the founders could be whole, like transparent and honest to us. And also we're thinking that most of the founders don't really have a clear idea about PMF, and not to mention the whole go-to-marketing strategies. And I mean, for it's not a 2017, not 2018 that you can build a infra and just raise a bunch of money. And you got to know like what do you want to achieve in this vertical, and like how you can differentiate with the competitors.
So just to give a quick heads up here, Bernie is representing VDAO today because we don't have Edwin from VDAO here, but Bernie also is the founder of a fund called Langrenus Fund, and he is also actively deploying. So just wanted to share that context so people know why he took that question up. GC, I think you are okay. All right.
Yeah, I will go. So I think actually people were just saying, why don't you just wait till 2025? But I think this is a great time to invest.
Deals are cheap now.
Yes, the valuation is cheap. And actually people who stay during the bear market are the true builders who are not coming here for money, for the fame. They actually want to build something.
Yeah.
So I think this is a good time to invest. And definitely we are anti-cyclical. So which means like we are actually heavily investing in projects that will flourish in 2025. Let's say.
That's what I've heard from most of the investors, that people are investing now because everyone's projecting an upcoming bull run. Now that could be in around Bitcoin halving, or it could be in 2025. But whenever it does come, the market is cyclical, right? Whenever it does come, they want to make sure that the companies are ready to capitalize on it. Paige, would you like to add something to it?
Yeah, I guess just really short commentary, since I think you mentioned about like little profits and whatnot. I think honestly, at the early stage, we're not supposed to have any profits. If you are having profits, that means either you are not go-to-market strong enough, or I don't know. So as long as your burn rate, it's not that bad. I think people don't really care about profits. And then the things that we are looking at least, if you're more like a 2B kind of business, where like we want to look at the partnerships you're building with the protocols that's in your area. If you're like a DeFi thing, then you should build partnership with all the top DeFi ones out there. If you're a GameFi, I assume probably YGG or what have you. But if you are like a 2C kind of project, I think we care more about how you are go to market. Simple stuff like your Twitter engagement, Discord engagement, how often do you reply to text, what's your play test frequency, and what's the result. I think these kind of more quantifiable non-financial metrics are more important than your absolute balance sheet. I think even until like Series A, your balance sheet will probably look really, really bad, but your pipelines and your partnerships need to look really strong.
Oh, I think that was an amazing roundup answer. Okay, we have another question from the audience, and hold the microphone a little closer to your mouth when you ask.
Hello, my name is Ling, and I'd like to know why in crypto there isn't really an emphasis on performance marketing. So another way of saying that is using ad attribution, or another way of saying that is being accountable for marketing spend, so that you know how much money you're spending is resulting in exactly how many new users are coming out to your platform. And I've interviewed tons of experienced people in marketing, like head of marketing at KuCoin, plus many other top startups, and they all say that no one really cares about performance marketing. I'm just wondering why that's the case.
I don't know, maybe because a lot of platforms ban crypto marketing. No, I'm kidding. I would love to ask the panelists. So the question here is performance marketing. At least Link's perception is that people don't necessarily care about it. I would love to hear from you guys. I know for a fact that when I chat with OKX team members, we quite often talk about the customer acquisition costs and lowering those CACs. So at least I have seen people chat about the metrics that matter. But I'd love to hear from the panelists.
That's a really interesting question. I've been thinking about that for a while. And then my answer to that is a lot of, I guess, the traditional Web2 search engine optimization, we're using US dollars as a benchmark for user acquisition costs, right? But in the crypto world, when you do like Galaxy Quest and whatnot, you are using the absolute like native token as a reward. And then the native token, if it's like already established protocols, and the token price is really high and it's fluctuating. And if it's an early protocol, they're not even launching tokens yet. So there's no way that you have like a standardized benchmark. So I never heard of people talking about user acquisition cost, because you just can't really calculate that. But you can calculate, I guess, just in terms of how much money you put in, I don't know, like Twitter or Discord, and how many people you are able to onboard. But you can't really use the Quest or the native token as like a quantitative measure to calculate the user acquisition cost. Because token is a fluctuating unit. It's not like a fixed fiat.
I love that answer because one of the things that I've often noticed, even in the NFT market, is how people talk about, hey, this Bored Ape sold for $1 million at such and such point in time, and now it resold. Like it had another sale at like 80,000, but nobody's talking about the price of Ethereum then, the price of Ethereum now, changing market conditions. So that's a great answer. Does anybody want to follow through on that? No, we're good. So we could probably we are good. We need to keep moving on. So I would love to thank our amazing panelists. Thanks, JC, Bernie, and Paige. All right, maybe we get a quick picture. Something you have. Okay. All right. Well, they want to kick you off stage right now. So thank you to our amazing panelists, and a round of applause for them, please. Thank you. And now I would love to invite on stage Matthew. I did see Matthew somewhere in the room here. All right, he's there in the back. So Matthew will represent PingCap in our next panel. I also saw Bonnie and Siri. Please come on stage. Do we have Bonnie? I did see Bonnie during the. Where's Bonnie? We might have to start without Bonnie.
She was here a moment ago.
Yeah, Bonnie is the hot coin.
Yes, so maybe this is my questions, and you can ask her together, and maybe.
Okay. Okay, so we have one of the speakers who's missing, but we did reserve her seat for her. So when Bonnie comes back, you guys all heard the presentation from Bonnie earlier, which was on Blockin. And what we're going to do is we're going to get started. So when Bonnie comes in, she can just join us. Maybe she is stuck in the bathroom queues, the bathroom lines. If you all have been here a few times, you know what I mean. Okay, so I am going to go to our panelists here. And you have already heard from Matthew earlier, but Matthew, for people who were not there in the room earlier, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself quickly?
Sure. Hello, can you hear me? Okay. Hi, my name is Matthew Penarosa. I am a solutions engineer at PingCap, and PingCap is the creator of TidyB. We are the world's most advanced open source distributed database. We're fully MySQL compatible, and we power companies like DBank, Huobi, Certec, and many other in the Web3 space. And hello, everyone. Yeah.
How many of you know about these companies? How many of you know Certec? Okay, a few. So Certec is a big auditing company in the Web3 space. Then we have DBank, and Huobi is also a big exchange. So yes, we'll delve more into what PingCap is doing for these companies in our panel. I'm going to Siri. Siri, will you please introduce yourself?
Yes. Hello, everybody. I'm Siri. I'm very excited to be here to be with you. And this is my first time to use English to do the share. So have some nervous. And my name is Siri. Maybe if I can not hear clearly or you cannot understand me, please call the other Siri in your iPhone, okay? Okay, thank you. So I am the CMO of Hotcoin Global. And our exchange platform have do more than 6 years. We founded in Australia in 2017. Yes, and now we have covered more than 90 countries, and we have 4 million users. Okay, thank you.
Wow, that's great. 4 million plus users and founded in Australia. I will ask you more questions about Hotcoin shortly. And now we have our missing panelist joining us. Hey, Bonnie, welcome back. Just turn it on.
Okay, I come back. It's
Can you introduce yourself?
Oh yeah, okay. I'm Bonnie, and now I'm based in America. And before last year, I start, no, it's stay just in Los Angeles for more 1 year, and very enjoy the California sunshine. And now, I was at 2017 running to the crypto as a loan, and now we do the block AI as a DeFi tool. We tracking and manage the DeFi assets as a good tools. If you connect our website, you can yes more details.
All right, we will be uncovering more details about block and AI. If you guys missed the presentation, then there would be some details that we cover over here as well. All right, so I'm going to start with Matthew. Right now, obviously, TiDB is a database solution, right? A scalable database solution that's open source, as you introduced it. I would love to ask you that how does PingCap actually provide a solution that complements the existing blockchain infrastructure or ledger infrastructure that is there? As a fact, we all know that any storage on decentralized systems today, even though we have IPFS, the storage isn't exactly persistent because you need pinning services. And storing data on blockchain itself within the blocks is actually extremely expensive. So, how does PingCap help build robust and scalable solutions for these Web3 projects and companies? Because you already mentioned that tools like NFT Scan and exchanges like Huobi are using PingCap. So, how can a new startup, for example, right, that's working on a product where they might need some data intensive storage solutions, leverage PingCap to complement what they're doing on their decentralized stack?
Well, you're absolutely right that storing data on the blockchain is actually like extremely expensive, and it can be slow. And I actually think that I'm really a big proponent of decentralization, but I think there's really a role for both decentralized systems as well as centralized systems. And TiDB is actually a really great product to store just massive amounts of data. And so if you're aggregating data from 100 blockchains or every blockchain on CoinMarketCap, which I don't actually believe that there's a platform that actually does that fully. It's divided. It's like Etherscan and the different scans for different chains. And so our database really empowers Web3 developers by being, first of all, especially people in startups, by very easy to use. I think that's kind of the main thing. Do we have a lot of engineers in the audience? If you engineer, can raise your hand? Okay, you guys have all probably used MySQL at some point, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yes. Well, when you first start developing and you spin up a single MySQL instance, it's very easy to use and very simple. And then as you start to work at enterprise level companies, things get a lot more complicated. Well, TiDB, what's really great about it is extremely easy to use and highly scalable and highly flexible in very short periods of time. DBank, one of the people I mentioned in my presentation, they don't have a database administrator, even though they're growing at a rate of over 10 terabytes a month, and they have over 210 terabytes of data. And so and if you can avoid overhead as a Web3 company by not having to hire 10 different database administrators and have all your engineers managing your database, yeah. And anyways, I think that's how we kind of empower Web3 users.
Got it. So essentially, for things like ZK rollups that we're looking at, right? Generally, what happens is your data is stored off chain, and it's the validation or the hash that is sort of stored on chain, right? So what you're saying is, for anyone who is looking at all of these solutions, and just the previous panel we were talking about rollups, right? And how we are now looking at Ethereum being able to, with dank sharding, etc., actually log these blobs of data, which will not be stored on chain. But again, it's similar to ZK in a way, right? Where you have some external data storages, And then what you do is you actually store a reference to that on chain in its simplest terms. So PingCap can be a great solution for that. And it is open source.
Yeah, we are totally open source, and we're also the most upvoted open source distributed database on GitHub.
Right. So, as more and more people start exploring storage solutions, and definitely anyone building in the audience to take a look at PingCap. And from the discussion we have had just now, obviously it's not just for Web3 solutions, but it will also work well for your Web2 solutions. Okay, I have a question for CD. So, CD, you are entering a market where you already have many exchanges, right? Even just early on, we had, for example, we had Virgo Talk, we had OKX Chat, and obviously we have over 8 billion people in the world. So just like the banks, there is a place for multiple exchanges. But what I would love to ask you is, how does Hotcoin Global differentiate itself from the exchanges that are here in the market, and what would be some of the key facets that the audiences will find attractive, so they will come to Hotcoin Global and basically trade on Hotcoin Global?
Okay. This is a good question. Yes. So maybe we do this more than 6 years, and we now ranking 24 globally, and I think maybe we just arrived in North American, and we welcome the project to listing on us. So maybe we don't not very famous, but we have the most users is in Asia. And our opinion think maybe Asia users actually still the most the users in the Web3. So we have the good community, and we can have as in my personally, I helped maybe more than 50 projects to listing on our platform and give so many different help. And I think maybe I want to welcome so many projects to we can give our most help, and maybe have the good price, and you can catch the good community in our platform. So maybe I think this is a good choice for you for the North American project. Yes. So I want to listen more the crazy project to me. Yes, I look forward to. Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you, CD. Appreciate it. And guys, again, as CD mentioned earlier, English is not her first language. So I definitely want to applaud her for not just taking the stage, but doing her best to that. Because we always talk about inclusivity in Web3, right? But the biggest barrier to entry is the fact that 75% of the world's global population doesn't speak English at all. So imagine what a big barrier we are looking to cross right here. So again, thank you, CV. All right, so now I would love to go to Bonnie. Hey, Bonnie. So Blockhin provides analytics, right? Analytics that can be used by traders, used by the audiences to really evaluate what to do. And you actually curate and collate data across multiple chains to present that analytics. My question to you is that, with obviously the rise of DeFi and NFTs, right? And we are looking at onboarding millions of people into the space. The accuracy and reliability of the data becomes a huge concern. And the integrity of the data, and also making sure that whatever is being presented, there isn't a spread of misinformation, because that has typically impacted the industry overall in the past. What measures and steps are being taken at Block and AI to stop the spread of misinformation and make sure that data integrity is maintained?
Myself, this is important things for everyone. Okay, thanks. Hello, yeah, it's way better. And actually, it's a data set is for everyone now. It's important things, right? And for we also use the website online and connect more wallet. And actually, our project DeFi is use the DeFi too, and it's just this into afternoon. My CTO tell me is with much machine and catching the data is online. And in fact, we have a 1,500 machine based in Hong Kong. Before our company is now is running to Web3, is Web2. We do the payment system. That's why we have more as a strong safety yes, band and other things coming. We more than 100 developer in there. That's why we very convinced so that can solve these things. And now we
So-
can, yeah. we-
So, are you leaning in heavily into using machine learning to detect fraud or detect misinformation? Is that what we're hearing? Because you said you have over 100 developers
Yes.
developing, deploying, and you have more than 1,500 servers, right,
Right,
that
right.
are actively going through this data.
Mm.
So, are you leaning in into AI, machine learning to help identify like any data fraud or just make the quality of data better or the quality of information that is shared better?
Oh yeah, that is nice. I know it's now we connect the AI, but it's limited, not popular as the AI project. Actually, we also have the DeFi protocol. Later on, we will be in the next year. We'll connect more AIs. Yes, like the two
Got it.
senses. Yes.
So, what
Mm.
exactly does block and AI do where you're
Mm.
leveraging AI? So, what is
Yeah.
the AI aspect of block and AI? What are the AI capabilities
Mm.
doing at the moment?
It's about talking like Instagram is have the chat will be open, and so will be convinced for user for the to be business. That's all. Yeah.
Got it. Okay, so you are actually leveraging generative AI and LLMs
Yeah.
to make it easier for traders to trade, and now you can just get your trading and also get the information via chatbots. Okay,
Yeah.
that's amazing. Did you want to add something?
Yeah.
All right, okay. So now I have a question, and I will direct that question to you, Matthew. So, considering the convergence of blockchain and traditional databases, do you foresee a future where blockchains might actually replace the databases, or do you see that even in near future? And I know you touched upon it because you said that hey, there is a space for decentralization and centralization to coexist. So perhaps you already have presented an answer to this view. So my question to you really would be that in the foreseeable future, right, what are some of those synergies that you see people building around, right, where you see a convergence of blockchain, of decentralized and centralized databases coming together? And perhaps you can talk about one or two use cases so our audiences can understand how these centralized and decentralized ecosystems are coming together and working together.
Well, first off, I would just want to touch on NFC scan as a quick case study or use case. So NFT scan uses TidyB to store all of their data, and that is kind of actually where I see the convergence of decentralized and centralized architecture. Is decentralized. I actually really don't foresee a future where decentralized infrastructure will fully ever replace centralized infrastructure. In fact, I think it actually will work in synergy. And keep in mind, I am one of the biggest proponents of decentralized. I have been following digital currency since e-gold. Does anyone know what e-gold is? Yes, right. If you ever remember what happened with eGold, is that they had an open ecosystem, right? And they had a centralized system where they had lots of gold in one place, and they had a system to trade this gold with other people, and they got shut down because they could get shut down. And actually, my theory as to who Satoshi is I suspect that he was either a part of that project or he observed that this happening, right? And he saw that, oh, hey, you cannot have a digital currency that fully enables free movement of money and capital unless it's decentralized and it cannot be shut down. And so that's actually where I kind of see the role of decentralized architecture is to prevent the censorship of payments, to enable people, especially if you look in less developed countries, in South America. And this is actually where you see the most growth in people actually using cryptocurrency on a day-to-day operation, right? But I see the centralized architecture enabling that, right? We can take the data from these decentralized systems, and we can put it into centralized systems, and we can use these in situations where that trust is not necessarily that important, right? Or you can trust like a centralized. We don't necessarily, like, for example, like everyone pretty much here trusts CoinMarketCap, right? CoinMarketCap, I mean, maybe it's not perfect, have perfect precision, but generally speaking, you can kind of trust CoinMarketCap. There are things in the world that we can trust that are centralized, and these are the elements that I think should be on centralized architecture.
So just to add to that, or you gave a great example. So I just wanted to mention that the way I understand it, right? You're saying that, hey, on a decentralized layer, you can actually have your transactions function. But let's say you are looking at historical data, or if you wanted to use predictive AI modeling, where you have to look at tons of data, terabytes and petabytes of data. If you were to actually pull that data real time from the blockchain, then index it, it's going to become a nightmare. But instead of doing that, the data is already finalized on chain, so you can trust that data. And what you're talking about is aggregating that data onto off chain systems where they can be processed much faster, indexed much faster, and then using that data in different applications that you have. Oh, that's wonderful. That you did a great job of really bringing perspective to how decentralized and centralized ecosystems can coexist. I love that. All right, so Siri, I have a question for you. Right, I think Matthew here presented a great example of the kind of systems we can be building. And I'm glad you're talking about analytics, because Blockin is also all about analytics. But Siri, my question to you from a North America market is going to be, how does Hotcoin Global, right, help projects in North America? Basically, how can a project in North America benefit from coming on Hotcoin Global or listing on Hotcoin Global?
Maybe I understand. I will try my best. Okay. Thank you.
How can you help a project in North America?
How to fund it?
From Hotcoin Global.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So if I am a founder and I wanted to list on Hotcoin Global, what kind of help and support can I receive?
Support, yes. And maybe so many cooperation, maybe AMA and maybe Medium, and maybe we have the local community, and maybe we can FA or maybe some sources I will introduce to the project. Yes, and maybe the others we can give some opinion advice for the project, and
so you can help consult the project. You can help with consulting, right? So they establish successfully. And I think with Hotcoin's presence in the Asian market, I feel like any project from North America, if they are trying to expand and get onto those markets, Hotcoin can be a good platform for them, right? Because you already have a presence in the Asian market.
Yes, and maybe I have some information, important thing I forget. Yes, maybe I think maybe if you ask me, what really makes our exchange different, maybe I think our ability to list the tokens very fast, very quickly. You can very quickly, maybe within 10 days, you can list on our platform, and we have the innovative KYC process. It's very simple to the users or to the project. So maybe it's not difficult to your community. It's very easy, and I think this is very different. Yes, with the other things. Yes.
How many, is there anyone, I know a lot of people are out there eating pizza, so I appreciate the folks who are in here. But has anyone gone through a token listing process, or has anyone actually followed any other token listing process? Anyone in the audience? No. Okay. So just for perspective, typically when you try to list your token, especially on a centralized exchange, the decentralized exchanges are open to anyone. You know, nobody cares who you are. You could be a teenager who wanted to do, an experimental project. You can go and launch a liquidity pool on a decentralized exchange. But typically, when you want to list on a centralized exchange, you have to go through a very arduous process. So with and you know, it's obviously for legal safety as well. But what Siri is saying here is that with Hotcoin Global, they do have an innovative process where it's not that you're bypassing any of the legal requirements, because KYC, etc., is also there, but it's just very easy for the end users as well as the project owners to get through the red tape so that they can list easily and make it available to the audiences within a span of 10 days.
Yes, and maybe we think we are very let me think how to say. And maybe I think have 7 numbers. Maybe I want to say, maybe we have covered more than 90 countries. That's the first number, and the second number is maybe we have do this for 6 years. We are the old platform. We are very safe, and every area the other platform we have too with the same. Yes,
Got
we
it.
have the good product, good experience, and maybe the third one is we have the 4 million users. So if your project needed so many community and users, I think maybe yes, they
you
a very
users.
activity yes, very high,
Very high,
yes, participate, right?
active users.
Yes, and we are ranking 24. I think it's not bad.
Oh, not bad. 24 on 24 on CoinMarketCap.
Yeah, CoinMarketCap.
Nice,
You can
nice.
search me. And maybe we have more than 380 cryptocurrency in our platform.
Okay, so those
Yeah.
are some good numbers.
Yeah.
Can I ask you if
And,
out of the 19 countries, are you also trading in US right now? Is Hotcoin Global open to US residents?
Yes, but we are not
Baby
very.
steps.
Yeah,
Yes.
you understand.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes,
That
but
has
yes,
been
right.
it is a
Uh,
challenge for a lot of centralized
And
exchanges.
yes, and then maybe we support maybe more than 40 legal current, just legal cash to change the cryptocurrency in our
Okay, so
platform.
they have
Yes.
more than 40 on-ramp opportunities, I would say, to change from fiat currency to cryptocurrency.
Yeah, maybe, and you can use credit cards. Always okay. So it's very convenience.
Got
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
All
yeah,
right.
yeah, yeah.
All right. Thank you,
Yes.
Siri.
Okay,
I
thank
definitely
you.
should check out Hotcoin Global, but I might have to get behind a VPN to do that. All right. So I'm going to continue my barrage of questions. I'm going to go to Bonnie next. And Bonnie, what I'm going to ask you is in terms of the rising decentralized challenges that we have, what do you see as the most significant hurdle for the adoption of DeFi? And then with the analytics that you are providing, how do you think can some of those hurdles be overcome?
Actually, this we have the real time the data, and now we have more as EVM and non EVM chains now, and this matter we have more expand our size like the Web3 wallet, and last month we linked the 3 wallet. And now, as recently, we will connect the OKX wallet, and we want to know more to be as to business is like the silent know us and more use because we have the real data every yes each time always update. It's also is update now, and now we have more global member join us. And yes, my project now is now to it's last year started up, and this year we want to more and more yes link Web3 wallet. Yes.
Got it. So you are trying to get more Web3 wallet integrations going, so that way more and more people can actually connect to the platform with a wallet of their choice, and then leverage the analytics that are there on platform. All right, thank you, Bonnie. We will now open the floor to questions from the audience. Does anyone have a question? Okay, there's a question all the way in the back. And just keep the microphone a little closer to your mouth.
No, this one is for Syria.
Oh, yeah.
Currently, shop you need to place in your inventory for US dollar, euro, China won in your exchange. Reserve.
Hey, can you just speak a little louder, please?
How much reserve currency with the dollars, US dollar, euro, and China won in your exchange for a daily operation?
So the question is, do you have any US dollar reserves for your exchange? Like, what are your exchange's reserve assets in US dollar or any other fiat currency?
It can use US dollar to change the graph.
No, you can use US dollars, but this is about so centralized exchanges for all the cryptocurrencies that they track. They also have to have reserves, right, in US dollars, or they have reserves in yuan, or they have reserves in pounds. So what he's asking is, what kind of reserves do you have for Hotcoin Global right now? And reserves is basically like the actual balance sheet for Hotcoin Global, for example.
Balance sheet.
I don't know how best to put it.
Oh, sorry. Maybe
I
I need to ask other Siri. Maybe I can I answer you later? Yeah.
And you speak Mandarin, right?
Yes, Mandarin, right?
Anyone wants to translate this in Mandarin? And
I know someone who speaks Mandarin.
You know someone who speaks Mandarin?
Sorry, yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know Mandarin, but I'm not quite familiar with the term. 大概是那种银行有什么存款保证金那种，就是你作为一个中央，你作为类似银行或者交易所，你需要有一定的资金保证在那里，如果万一出了问题能用那赔，大概是那个东西，我理解。
我大概明白，就是那个叫对the proof of yes.
Proof of funds.
Yeah. We have one. Yeah.
Is that published somewhere?
No published.
Okay.
Yeah.
They do have some reserves though. You might have to ask another follow-up question in person where... I'm sorry? Oh, okay. So yeah, what you're saying is, what you're looking for is more transparent information. Like we know OKX has been recently publishing their proof of reserves. So you're looking for more audited and transparent information like that. Got it. Okay. Maybe I think you got what he's asking for. I'm not going to ask you to translate it right now, but maybe later on you can help bridge a conversation between him and her. All right. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. We'll try to get that answered, but later on. Okay. All right. I think that's a valid question, right? Because whenever you're putting your money in a centralized exchange, what you're trying to see is, unlike the banks, exchanges don't really have to maintain, a certain reserve. But actually, now even the banks don't have to maintain any liquid cash and reserves. They changed that in COVID, very sneakily changed it. But at least your accounts are FDIC insured, and the banks get regularly audited, and that information is available. So that's a good question, but probably something that we'll follow through right after the panel. We have time for one more question. Does anyone have a question here? For Block-in or for PingCap, any of the developers have a question? All right. So what I'll do is I'm just going to go to each one of you and closing. And I would just ask you to spend like a minute saying anything you want to the audience, right? For your platform, any message that you want to give to the lovely audience that we have here in terms of your platform, or just coming and joining your platform, and what can they expect? What can they look at? So I'll probably start with Bonnie this time. So Bonnie, just a quick
time.
1 minute closing message for the audience.
Oh yeah, of course. If someone is wants to link with us and connect me, we're open and we are global everywhere. If you want to go to Hong Kong, call me. It's okay.
All right. Are you sponsoring any tickets to Hong Kong? No, I'm kidding. That would be fun. All right. I'll go to you, Matthew.
Well, I just want to thank everyone for staying through this panel. I know there's alcohol and pizza in the other room, so thanks for staying. If you guys are, I just want to say, if there's any startups in the audience or there's any businesses and you guys are looking for a database to store your data, feel free to talk to me after the panel. Talk to some of the other people here from PingCap. If the people can PingCap can raise their hands. Yes. Okay. Yes. These three over here.
Yeah, you need PingCap t-shirts, right?
Yes, we do need PingCap t-shirts. Someone needs to get on that.
All right. And finally, Siri.
Yes. Thank you everyone to support me, and I look forward to hearing all of your exciting projects. If you have the listing, please. Yes, send me. Yes, I will try my best to give you some support. Yeah, thank you.
All right. So if anyone has an upcoming token launch and you're looking to list on exchanges, then go and contact Siri right after this panel. And with that, guys, again, a big round of applause for everybody in the room and also for our fantastic panelists here. And as Matthew said, there's alcohol and pizza in the other room. So we thank you for staying through this panel.
Right. Thank you.